Let's now begin with the third module, Invitation for Tender. An invitation to tender is a formal invitation to companies to place an offer to supply goods and services. At the end of this module, you will be able to understand tender publishing process, tender receiving and handling process, and tender opening process.
Publication of IFT and tender document selling.
This process includes the following steps. Publishing of invitation for tender IFT by procuring entity in widely circulated newspapers and relevant websites. It will be better to publish any amendment or changes in the same media. Tender documents should be available for sale as soon as the invitation for tender is published. The price of the tender document includes production and delivery costs and will be determined by who. Sale of tender document will be till the day before the last date of submission of tender. The last step is to record the sales. If the official cost estimate of a procurement package of goods or works is up to 100 lakh Bangladeshi taka, the invitation for tender, that is IFT, should be published in at least 2 national dailies, one Bangla and one English. It also includes publishing in own website. In addition to 2 national dailies, one Bangla and one English, publish the IFT in the website of the Central Procurement Technical Unit if the official cost estimate is 100 lakh Bangladeshi taka or more. The tender receiving process includes receiving of tenders, pre-disclosure of tender, custody of tenders, and acknowledgement. There will be a tender box for dropping the tenders, though receiving sites can be multiple. Tenders can be delivered by hand, mail, or courier services. Large size or volume tenders may be directly received by an assigned officer of the procuring entity. The tenderer will be solely responsible for pre-disclosure of a tender information in case of envelopes not marked or sealed properly. All tenders shall be kept in a secure and safe place in locked tender boxes or cabinets with the procuring entity as a custodian. Tenders delivered by hand, mail or courier will be acknowledged stating the date and time of receipt if requested. Tenders are opened immediately after the deadline or within 1 hour at the latest unless the situation of Rule 96(11) arises. They will be opened in public at one place in the presence of Tender Opening Committee, that is TOC members. The tenderer or its authorized representative may also attend the opening session. The Tender Opening Committee shall prepare a tender opening sheet. Tenders received after the deadline for submission shall be declared late and returned unopened to the tenderer. The Tender Opening Committee, that is TOC, shall not reject any tender during its opening. The procuring entity shall send the tender opening sheet and all received tenders to the Tender Evaluation Committee, that is TEC, within 2 working days of receiving the tenders. Here you can see a sample of a tender opening sheet. Here you can see a sample of a tender opening sheet. This brings us to the end of this module, Invitation for Tender. In this module, you have learnt about the tender publishing process, tender receiving and handling process, and tender opening process.